Something Like Summer was a challenging adaptation for a number of reasons. One is it has a huge fan base of people whom we did not want to disappoint. It also features characters that we felt everyone in the audience should be able to connect to at least one of them, if not more. So that presented a lot of opportunities for us in the casting process to really cast our net wide and find the perfect people for each role, and we're pretty confident we were able to do that.
That much blood is pretty much the opposite of fine.
I auditioned for the role of Benjamin Bentley in August of 2014 and didn't hear anything back for a few months, so I automatically assumed that there was no interest at that point, which turned out the role was eventually cast. I then received a text message from my manager about a year later. That's when my manager called me. Flash forward to June, and she said, "Hey, I'm gonna submit you for this." And that week, she sent me the sides for the role, and I was blown away. And I said, "This is the Benjamin Bentley role. There's no way in a million years that this is a possibility." A week later, it was announced that the role was being recast, and I finally believed her, and I submitted my tape. One step after the other, and being flown to New York out of the blue, and meeting the cast and crew, I was suddenly partaking in a journey of a lifetime and my favorite project.
Today we are filming me walking into Tim's bedroom and stealing his shirt, and smelling him, smelling the boy.
So you're in a rush to get out, so we just gotta find a mark for you to stand.
I liked Grant a lot, and I thought he would be pleasing to look at for men and women because this part needs that sexy lead. So Grant was always my favorite. There's an innocence to him and something that you just can't help but go, oh, I understand him. I see why he's afraid to speak out and sing. I see why he's a little held back, and he's so cute.
And action!
Grant is a wonderful young actor. He has a ton of talent and is an absolute blast to work with on set. In terms of an actor who's willing to go the extra distance for the performance he delivers every time. If anything, he tries so hard that I have to pull him back sometimes and say, you're there, you're getting it, because he wants to bring this character to life with such a genuine purpose and from a very honest place that he puts a lot of effort into the performance and takes direction very well. It's not hard to get Grant to go where he needs to go because he has an intrinsic understanding of the script and the story that's being told. I think Grant's best benefit to the movie is that he understands the Ben character and internalizes that same story and can bring it to the screen so easily.
Grant Davis, the first time I ever saw Grant Davis, it was like seeing Benjamin Bentley. And he just has this youthful spirit with a little bit of attitude in the best way possible, and this angelic singing voice that just all comes together. And just being near him is like being near Ben Bentley.
Ben starts off as a very innocent, sweet, kind-hearted, gentle 17-year-old. As time goes on throughout high school, we each experience our own trials and tribulations. And for Ben, it was surrounding around his sexuality and being discluded simply for the fact that he was gay. But still holding pride in that and believing that that is something that not necessarily even makes him special, but makes him just like everyone else.
Oh, Benjamin Benhead. You know, he's having a hard time going out there and making his mind. He stays in the kiddie mind zone, so I always have to snap him into shape sometimes. And I'm like, Ben, come on, like, we have to do this. You can't spend your life in a fantasy world. Hello.
Hey.
You did not drag me out of band practice for this. Allison, she's such a lovely girl. This is actually one of the costumes right here. So I'm really excited about the colors she wears because she has this pop. And it really shows at the beginning when I'm in high school. She wears a lot of wristbands and like more colors, where now it's like I still have that little spice to me, but I'm more adult. So Allison is really fun. She's the one that's always pushing him.
Then make up with him. Put as much distance as you can between you and your past.
Like Ben's backbone. Like you say something about Ben, it's going down. So she's definitely a great best friend for Ben, and I think they complement each other, Allison and Ben.
Sometimes I have to correct my best friend because
Yes,
he
absolutely.
just
I'm
goes out of his
crazy.
mind. I keep him where he needs to be in the right mind.
Absolutely.
I think we really have that best friend relationship right now. We have those secrets. We're like, hey, come here. So we have like really cute secrets that I think bring us together even more than just aside Ben and Allison, but Asiana and Grant. So I feel like we do have a great relationship as far as for the roles that we play together.
You're everything I need and more. That's written all over your face.
We are fantasizing about being with one of the most popular guys at school, and when a chance encounter actually brings them together.
Ben's journey starts out, pretty innocent, but then before he knows it, he's crashing into the love of his life.
Hey, watch out! What?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how love happens. You don't really know when it's going to hit you until it hits you really hard in the face.
So Benjamin comes rollerblading and he's like, I can't believe I just saw Tim, and then pow! He hits him by accident, and then we actually start talking and he has to help me. So we're like in physical contact and we hop over to my house. He's revealing that he actually knows where I live. Creepy.
Okay, all right. Okay, what now?
I guess we hop over to the nearest house and ask for a ride.
You know your house is super close if we cut through those trees.
My house?
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Ben Bentley's a complicated character. He has multiple levels. There's the part of him that's very confident, very open, and then there's the part of him that's completely unsure.
I'm guessing this isn't how you usually spend your evenings.
Watching straight guys take baths. Yeah, every night.
In high school, he never really felt worthwhile. And I feel like that's something that a lot of kids, especially a lot of gay kids, can relate to is, you have society and religion and stuff telling you that there is something, if not necessarily wrong, but like a little bit off about you.
Who is your pretty girl?
I have a boyfriend.
Action.
Getting into his younger years was definitely more of a difficult task because I had to adapt to this level of immaturity that I had when I was 14.
It all starts with playing dress up and finding the best way to present the character and the moods that we feel. Starting with awkward high school phase, and we're really tight, uncomfortable clothing, and then we move to more comfortable adult clothing where we can stand up strong. These boys love to change their clothes.
About
37 outfit changes right here alone. And I have Melanie running around, taking pictures, writing out every single detail, making sure that I have a giant binder full of all the information possible.
So I get to work with all of the actors once their costumes are put on. I get to work with continuity, which means I get to hang out with them, and they're all great. They're so much fun. I love them. So right now, I am working on what's called the continuity book, which is a huge book of all of the costume changes so that we can make sure we have continuity from one place to another. And with 3 decades, is that how long it is? It's a big book.
The way that this goes over several years, like 10, 12 years of their timeline, having different makeup and hairstyles really kind of sells that look for people, along with the amazing wardrobe that Kelsey T. Morgan has done. I think that really is kind of bringing to life that timeline and that transition that all the characters big.
Cars parked. More or less.
My parents are in Switzerland.
Today, Bobby and I have already worked together this morning on the car scene. I am taking him to the hospital. Let's see if we can make it. With my driving, with Ben's driving, I don't know. With Grant's driving, we'd be totally fine. Yeah, Down. clutch out easy. Okay. And then we got some more stuff up in my bedroom, which I'm obsessed with what the art department has done with my bedroom.
The art for this movie was really spectacular, especially with the generosity and contribution of all the artists. Our production designer, Kyle, put a whole lot of his work into it. Also, our art directors, Kat and Cliff, who are fantastic artists as well, were featured prominently, along with many others who donated their work for free to the movie to be in the Tim studios and on the walls of the gallery. So as you look at those scenes that's just filled with art, that's not something that we pulled from stock photos. That's all very carefully selected and generously donated by a lot of very talented artists.
My job is to coordinate with the director and the producers and the writers and make sure that the look for the movie is cohesive. We build a world that these characters can live in.
Today we're making Portland into Chicago. Planning on throwing a lot of breadcrumbs later to gather a lot of pigeons up. We've got snow mats out, we've got a lot of fake snow, we got some spray snow, and today we're covering Paris on one side of the bridge and Chicago over here.
I am making the sign for the Theatre de Leonard in Paris that Ben and Jace go into, and there's a little surprise waiting. And it's actually a really beautiful moment in the movie. I'm really excited for it.
And he ends up falling in love with a very charming, handsome, jock, classic, good-looking, the guy that everyone wants in high school.
That ass is way above standard.
He does have a pretty good butt.
Ronnie.
Benjamin Bentley to Tim is the key to himself. He's the catalyst for him to actually self-realize. So when he sees Benjamin, I should say, when he sees Benjamin, he finds that he has the potential to actually live and be saved. Except at the same time, Benjamin also represents a betrayal to everything that he's been fighting to maintain and to create.
Yeah, they don't want me to see you anymore.
They thought they liked you.
Yeah, they did, Benjamin. But they also happen to be Catholic.
Hey, Tim.
He has to realize that it'll be a crushing blow to lose all that, but what's the point if he can't be himself and he has to lie all the time?
He hides behind that charm. He hides behind his good looks. He is scared of the reality of his situation, of his sexuality. He's scared of the fact that he is different from others. He's different from his crowd at school. Tim, we can make this work, okay? Hey, we'll be careful.
From the outside, Tim Wyman seems to be like your average jock, very popular, very charming, and so it's easy to be very dismissive of him, but in fact, he has his own internal struggles. He's got the soul of an artist, and he's also a very sympathetic person to the people around him. But unfortunately, fear dictates his actions, and that is his big challenge to overcome in the story, is how to chase after his own ideals.
Enséñame a volar, mi mariposa hermosa.
He's writing, he's painting, but he hides it. He hides all of it. He compartmentalizes his lives, and he doesn't believe that he's a united person, and he believes that only fragments of himself can be accepted in different places in society.
Table stuff, be like, oh wow. And then Tim is representative of, I think, what everyone holds in themselves. His main struggle is basically being honest with himself and in turn being honest with Ben.
Tim, aren't you getting tired of this sneaking around pretending to be Kristen Norman's boyfriend?
It's for my parents' benefit. I told you. Let's just have fun like we always do.
Sometimes he makes a mistake and people get hurt and he gets hurt and other people do as well. But that's what's so human about him. It's that it's not clean. He's not the all perfect protagonist. He makes mistakes and at the same time gives you the option of deciding whether he's a good guy or bad guy.
You can't keep hiding. I am not like you. I don't have parents who are supportive of me no matter what. I can't live with people laughing at me and pointing at me all the time. I'm not like you. I never will be.
Everything is handed to Tim, literally, almost. I mean, his parents are wealthy, and you know, he's athletic and good-looking and smart and artistic. So when he shows up into the school atmosphere, it's like he's immediately embraced by the coolest people. Except, unfortunately, it's also a society that's highly judgmental and that loves to sort of feed off of the insecurities and the perhaps weaknesses, I'm not sure if they really are, of other people, and by belittling them. And Benjamin's heart is too big to really welcome that.
It's actually kind of cute if you think about it.
We're like pushing each other down.
Yeah, we got close fast.
Punching. Yeah, like literally, we're like on mounting and then just like punching and then like dodging punches and then like choke holding.
It means butterfly, Bryce. You're just saying butterfly. Senior Langdon was making a fool of you. It's actually kind of cute if you think about it.
It gets bloody. It gets so bloody. We break our. No, it doesn't actually get bloody at all. Well, it does a little bit.
For Ben to grow up with that constantly and then, you know, think he found something with Tim and then to have that explode in his face, it's, you know, it's really detrimental to someone.
We're done, Benjamin. It's over.
That's why I think it's really great that, you know, Jace gets to come in and kind of pick up the pieces for that.
He makes the decision to move on from Tim Wyman and go off to Chicago, make a new life for himself in Chicago, go to college there for 2 years. A few more jams in the road, and he meets this lovely man named Jace, who treats him like he deserves to be treated, treats him like any human being deserves to be treated, and loves him to the fullest.
Should I be like crouched?
Yeah. So basically, I think we're gonna start.
We're filming the scene where Jace and Ben meet for the first time.
Yes.
And Jace charms
the pants off.
I mean, not yet.
Scene 68, take one.
Camera.
Set.
Cool.
Background, action.
Action.
Jace. Jace is just about, Jace is who I would want. That's how I would want my partner to be. He just is so loving and so generous and kind, and he gets it, you know? He's understanding, he gets it about people and things that can happen in a relationship, and he doesn't ever seem to have, there are no limitations with Jace's love. Right, he just loves him, and he's just open, and he's just understanding.
He meets him at kind of a low point in Ben's life. You know, his best friend's dad just died. He's going to a place that, you know, he's going home to a place that kind of signified, you know, the end of that really monumental relationship in his life.
Thanks for calling.
So, spend New Year's Eve with me. He kind of starts to, you know, make Ben feel worth something and loved and safe, and you know, it's important for him. It's important to feel those things, and you know, it's really rad that I get to play a character who is able to provide that for someone.
We'll figure it out. Okay.
My first scene was actually, it was a really nice way to like ease into everything, because it was the shots of us walking around Paris. So it was nice because I didn't feel too much pressure, because it was all mostly just like, walk around, look at the sights. Isn't it beautiful? We're in love. And it's like I'd met Grant a couple times before getting to set, and like I felt pretty comfortable with him, which was great. And like through that like low pressure thing that we were doing, I got to know the crew working around us, and it was really nice.
And pictures up. Pictures up. Lock it up, guys. Quiet all around. And quiet all around.
Yeah, just stand right next to the...
On the other side.
Yeah. Cross camera.
And roll sound.
Went in, A, out, ale, take one, mark.
Rolling.
Rolling. Who's that door open? Action.
Jace is a really fun character, just in that he is very centered. He's very sure of himself. He's made that journey that the other two main characters are making, and he's come to terms with who he is, who he loves, what he likes, and is able to be a positive force in Ben's life and a motivating force for him to push past any hangups that he has. So Jace as a tool for Ben is very useful in that he brings out the best, or the best possibilities that Ben has in front of him, and opens those doors.
Many years later, Tim Wyman falls back into his life, and that's when the real climax of the story happens, when he has to choose whether he wants to go with this boy that he fell in love with at the age of 17, or this man who he fell in love with much later in life that has treated him like the man he really is.
What are you freaking out about?
Oh God, don't turn around. Whatever you do, don't turn around.
Benjamin. It's really you. Yeah.
I love Davi, and it's weird because, you know, sometimes, every time he pops up, I'm kind of like, oh, there's Tim. With Davi, I'm like, Davi, come here.
Benjamin, wait. Hey. Hey.
As far as me and Tim, you know, kind of iffy about Tim.
And he's this person who hurt the man that he loves, and Jace isn't cool with that.
You must be Jace.
And you must be Mr. Abercrombie. At least as far as Jace is concerned. I feel like that's definitely what Jace sees in Tim.
You know, Tim was a hard character for me to kind of wrap my head around, because as well as doing the production design, I also have done a significant amount of the paintings that will be Tim's work in the movie. And you know, I really had to try to get into his headspace, and it was difficult for me because I was more like Ben. I was very upfront with my family about how I felt. I came out at a young age, and I think that that's something I was trying to give Tim's work, but I had to balance it with his reticence, with his, you know, real struggle to accept that part of his life. So for me, Tim is just that entire contradiction, you know, because he needs to be both expressive but secluded. I think at first glance he seems like a character that maybe you don't root for, but I think as you begin to see who he really is, you do.
They both have this passion in something that they fear the world will see as shameful. They feel the world will see as less than. I think Ben has an ability to overthink everything, and especially when it comes to his music. And I feel like Tim is the same way when it comes to his art. I feel like that is where the two characters, that's where you find the vulnerability in the two characters, is the thing that they are most passionate about, is the thing that they are most afraid of.
The character of Ben is a singer, and in the book, and of course books, you can't listen to music, but you can in movies. So pretty early on in the adaptation process, I knew that I wanted this to have songs in it, music in it, have Ben sing in it. And so that helped focus us on what kind of actor we were looking for, and you know, look for the perfect songs for each of the plot points that we wanted to illustrate with music, and gave us a lot of opportunities to look for inventive ways to stage each of the songs. We had a lot of fun with that. We actually shot some of them on a stage with stage lighting, and then others we did on location. We have 7 songs in the film, and we went probably through 15 or 20 possibilities before we settled on the ones that we picked.
Take photographs of fun, have fun.
We knew that we wanted at least 1 or 2 of the songs to be original songs, and we were fortunate to find in Adriana Alexis, who plays Allison, a song that she wrote that was perfect for the mood that we wanted, Dream Big, that happens near the end of the film.
You just gotta keep your head
The other original song, Shadow, was one that we found by accident because the singer-songwriter was someone whose agent I met in Philadelphia when I was there for a totally non-movie related reason, and he sent me his album, and I listened to the 10 songs on it, and I went through the first one, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and none of them was really quite right. But wouldn't you know that the final song was the one that I thought would be perfect for that scene, and so that's where we found our second original song.
We are shooting the dream sequences in the theater. We're frozen solid. We're inside Ben's mind, inside Ben's heart.
And though our parts are slightly loose, no one's a slave labor you can keep.
People in this world, yeah, they can be so cold. Treat you like you're nothing when you're with more than gold.
Hey Ben, it's Dad.
So wipe away.
Listen, I'm driving up to Austin next week, and I thought I'd swing by and take you out for dinner. No excuses, okay? I miss you.
Throw your life away, you can't waste away these years. Don't you give up on your dreams, cause they might disappear.
Every now and again, I thought I was screaming, is it worth it all? There's so much.
I think my favorite scene to shoot with him were the performances on the stage, because he's a showman.
With this shadow of a life, it's hard to breathe. I still need
He likes to sing, he's very good at it, and he likes to perform. And that's where he was most comfortable, and in no small part, I got to play with camera and lights all that day too.
I'm kidding, imagining you care, and I could stand here waiting, a fool for another day. I don't suppose it's worth the price, it's worth the price that I would pay.
Yeah, we're excited. We haven't actually done anything like this yet, in terms of these sequences. Right? So it'll be curious to be inside someone's dream sequences, and even more so, how it interacts with the rest of the film.
We were filming a movie on a stage, which doesn't happen that often, as far as I know. It's been great. It's been wonderful. Doing Us, in particular, the song Us, the Regina Spektor song, was a blast for me, because I got to fully invest my 14-year-old self in my music, which I didn't really get to do when I was 14. I got to put all of Benjamin Bentley into that heart and space that I needed to be for that song. And it's funny because the music follows the story so beautifully.
The tourists come and stare at us. The sculptor's marble sends regards. They made a statue of us. They made a statue of us.
We got pieces. We got a pizza. We got a song to cut.
Dave has been part of the process since projects ago, you know? So he's been literally shaping it.
As the cinematographer, I've made a bunch of different stylistic choices to represent the visual aspect of the film. They range from some really fun ones, like I have been playing with some filtration that is very reminiscent of kind of 1980s movies and stuff like that for the high school era stuff, and then letting those drop away when we get into the more modern era things. One big decision I made was that I wanted very distinct styles of filmmaking for each era as a method of differentiating them. So for the high school era, it's very sticks and dolly with classical camera movements, and as we move forward, we can move into naturalistic, handheld, things shot on long lenses, scraping across foreground objects to have really distinctive framing that in of itself defines each era.
I know full well when you find a filmmaker or a writer who's in sync with you, you're really, you have something, you know, and it's like telepathic. So I trusted that.
He probably comes up to me the most with questions about why is Tim doing this? Where is he going? Where is he coming to? And I think that is excellent for him because it helps him internalize the character and really understand where Tim is and what headspace he's in. And it's a fantastic way of working.
The thing that I think that I love most about my director, Dave, is the freedom that he gives us as actors. The script is so beautiful and so well done, and there's so much there, and allowing us to use it to its fullest advantage.
Here we go, and background. Dolly.
It's just when you're comfortable with somebody, you don't have to worry about, oh, can I do this? Can I not do that? It's just being comfortable and doing what's real in the scenes.
You go to school here? Leave me alone. You're not from out of town at all. You go to school here. I'm out of here. You guys figure out your best of threesome.
Benjamin, wait. Right now, we're filming a moment between Tim and Aaron and Ben.
I think Grant's best benefit to the movie is that he understands the Ben character and internalizes that same story and can bring it to the screen so easily.
You genuinely have to put yourself in the situation, and it's hard and it's sad.
And now I've lost Jace. I told you I would do anything to get him back. You wanted to believe.
I should have known he would never go for a guy like that. Why was I so stupid to believe he'd do that to me? What's wrong with us? Our lives are so screwed up when we're together. We do have some serious stuff today. We have to deal with a death.
That might be a good idea.
Actually, it's a very good idea.
Just so I don't like wobble off.
So we don't have a wobbly body viewing.
First, never mind.
It's on fire.
Over the arms or under the arms?
Under the arms, because we're having
Having an aneurysm was really scary. It wasn't as emotional as I thought it was going to be, as much as I was worried about the technicals behind it. Because, you know, something like that, something that's like a medical thing that happens, is you want to represent it authentically. And I had done a ton of research to see what the symptoms are, like what kind of things are happening within your body when that is happening. None of that can really prepare you for actually doing it. So the actual doing of it was, I was thinking so mechanically as opposed to like emotionally. Because when you're going through that, your only emotion really is like, what is going on? Which is what I was thinking at the exact same time.
Jace? Oh, baby? Jace?
Cut.
Cut.
Good.
Cut the cut.
I love getting to take advantage of those places, but it doesn't mean it's always easy. And you really have to tap into your own reality that falls into play with the reality of the characters.
We're currently running lines while they figure out some sort of a camera or lighting setup, so we can get the rest of this scene shot. We gotta get the paramedics in here to help me out. This journey for Ben is him finding love and acceptance inside of himself. And it's like, yeah, he has these outside forces helping him do that, but ultimately it comes down to him. And I kind of feel like, you know, when Jace is out of the picture, it's time for him to put all of that, you know, self-love and self-worth into action, because now it is just him. And now it's up to him to make the right choices. And yeah, it's kind of like the catalyst into like the next journey for Ben.
To Tim, it isn't until the end that he's able to, after also sacrificing different groups of people and himself and losing plenty of the times along the way, that he finds support with people that take him in. And he's finally able to come out of his own shell, sexually as well as with his art. And the film sums with him finally having this exhibition. And it's not just an exhibition of his artwork, but an exhibition of his soul. It's himself. And he's finally now taking a turn in his life to assume everything that he can be for the rest of his life, hopefully. And not only with him and himself and his work and his art, but with love, and with Benjamin specifically.
There's so much of the story that I have never told, and it feels so cold.
And action.
With this shadow of the life, it's hard to breathe. I still need you here to help me see my reflection in the mirror.
When you're faced with it, when you're young enough that you don't have the experience, but you're adult enough to feel it, you know? And this is an opportunity then for all of the characters to go through all of these incredible heartaches and lives and deaths and relationships and fallouts, and learn to forgive and learn to sacrifice and to empower themselves. We see all these characters go through these arcs and these changes and these growths, these incredible blossomings.
No one here to stand beside me, save me from them or watch me bleed. Bring on your words, bring on the poisons to bring.
This story is about growth. I mean, I think that's one thing that goes through my head on a daily basis is growth, and maybe that's why I keep going back to it. We all have the ability to grow on a daily basis. And as hard as it may be, the situations that are placed in front of us are placed there for a reason. And it's unfortunate that we have loved ones that pass. And it's unfortunate that we have really rough breakups. And it's unfortunate that we have to deal with sexual identity crises. Those are all very terrifying and difficult things. But at the end of the day, if you use them to your fullest ability, they can only better you. That's what I feel like this movie teaches me, and I hope the audience takes away.
The story is important because it's capturing youth, love, maturity, sexuality, and expression, and I think those, and relationships, and those are like the fundamental powers and characters of what makes a person a person.
This is like a growing moment of Ben and just showing him from a child to college to adulthood, and it's showing his transformation and how I'm trying to help him go more off of what he feels inside of his heart.
You should blossom and you should cocoon yourself and then burst out and fly, because that's what makes life worth living. And no matter what you lose along the way, at the end you're doing it because it's your soul that's at stake. And I think the film touches that. And there aren't that many experiences where you get to have that before you that can actually empower your life. So I find the film a gift to have at the time.
That is a wrap. It's a wrap.
We just wrapped for something like summer officially. We are done with the movie. I am so excited. Thank you guys so much for being part of this amazing journey. We all had so much fun here on set, and we did this all for you because we love this project, and it is the most important thing to each of us to make this something beautiful and worthwhile.
I'm so sick of love songs.